Cool.
So, Jeff Tarrant.
Hi.
So, 2 sentences. Tell me, can you say what you do?
So I'm a psychologist and then a board certified neurofeedback, and so that's largely what I do is work with clients on retraining their nervous system.
So you take advantage of the plasticity of our nervous system. We can
Exactly. Yeah. Help. You have various technologies where people can actually see what's happening in their nervous system, their brain, and other different aspects, heart rate variability, things like that, and then learn how to change that for whatever benefit they want.
Right.
Mostly to increase flexibility and adaptability.
Cool. Well, and the Soul Seed is about doing that on the larger scale with fascia, and so tell me how has that worked for you?
Yeah, it's been great. I'm not sure how long I've been using this. 2 years maybe. And I keep moving it around to various offices. In fact, I just brought this back home from my home office where I actually probably sit more because I'm doing more writing and development of programs as opposed to sitting one-on-one with the client. So the chair kind of goes back and forth periodically. But I'd say largely what I've noticed with this, and again, I think it ties in with some of my interest in what I do, is that I feel much more alert and focused when I'm using this chair as opposed to any other kind of chair that I might end up in. And so for me, that's really important for a couple of reasons. I know my own brainwave pattern, and I know that sitting still puts me into a sort of a groggy, foggy kind of state. And so this is much more of a relaxed but alert kind of state, which is exactly what, that's where we function best. We function best when we're alert and relaxed. And so that's what I think this seat sort of helps me to achieve, being in that state.
Wow.
And of course then there's physical things that are important and useful as well. And those actually I don't pay as much attention to. I know it's good for my back, and I know it's good for my posture and those kinds of things, and I can feel that. But that's like secondary for me to sort of what's happening from a brain position.
Wow. And can you see for yourself? Can you see those benefits showing up in the numbers or in
I haven't actually mapped that precisely. That would be an interesting.
It'd be fun. Yeah, compare.
Yeah, it'd be fun because especially for certain types of people and that have a slower brainwave pattern in general, because people that have a slower brainwave pattern are often looking for some sort of stimulation, and so this provides just enough stimulation. You can't just sort of lounge back into a chair, and that's going to create a slower brain pattern. And if you've already got a slow brain pattern, that is not helpful. And so that's why some people like to stand, or when they're working or whatever, because it's creating an additional amount of activation. Right. And this, I think, does a very similar thing.
Wow. So so basically, you're describing mindfulness at work. In a way. So this as a tool can help facilitate being mindful, being alert and relaxed while you're being productive.
Absolutely, yeah. And actually, because of some of the work I do, sometimes I'll actually use it with clients. They'll get my seat, and I'll take the less comfortable and appropriate seat, And particularly if I'm doing, so one of the pieces of work I do, it's called neuromeditation. And so we're measuring their brainwave activity while they're in a meditative state and helping them achieve a meditative state. And so for many of the clients who are interested in that particular work, they would prefer to sit in a posture that's going to facilitate that. And again, it's exactly what you're saying. It's the posture in the chair facilitate that state that we're looking for. And so why not use that to our advantage? As opposed to, here, sit in a chair that's not going to be helpful and try to get into a meditative state. There's a reason that people that meditate sit like
them get accustomed to the soul seed. Do some people take to it easily. And
yeah, and in fact, it was interesting because I'm used to sitting on it like this or another modified. Sometimes I'll just have one leg up, or even sometimes I'll even end up sitting like this if I'm sort of up and down a lot. And so just the other day I had somebody, and they were sitting like you would on a meditation bench where they folded their legs under them.
right.
And I'd actually never even thought of that before.
Oh, yeah.
And probably because I don't sit that way when I meditate. And so. And they loved it. They thought it was great. In fact, I see that person today, so it's a good thing I've got the chair back here. I'm looking for sort of peak performance. If you want to perform at your best, you're always looking for that balance of being alert and relaxed at the same time. That's where we think best. That's where we perform best. And everybody's always trying to get there. Whether you're an athlete or a CEO, or it doesn't matter. You're just a regular guy doing your job. You're always trying to find that spot. And so again, why not take advantage of something that's going to naturally facilitate that on its own? You don't have to do anything. Just sit.
Excellent.